There she blows. Another manic Monday morning. Better than the last one, because only traces of that ugly old white stuff can be seen along our streets and roadways and on the back porch here. This week, you'll hear more about it in about 15 minutes. A pretty good looking and dang good feeling forecast for Valentine's week, weather-wise. A little
Yes.
preview warning, though. Friday, stay away from ladders and black cats. It's the 13th of the month. Followed by Saturday, the 14th, better known as Valentine's Day. If you're planning on growing flowers to give to the love of your life, that train has already left the station. Look up your friendly florist and place that order. Do not wait until the last minute or you get floor scrapings. How's that sound?
Floor
Yeah,
scrapings.
stuff off
Okay.
the floor, whatever they drop. If that's all they got left, that's what you're going to get. Today, tell us some of the coolest and some of the dumbest things you've done for Valentine's. If you've done something really dumb, I'd like to hear about it. If you've done some really cool stuff, kind of give the rest of us some ideas. What do you think? Throw in some funny stories, especially that made everyone laugh. Good morning. I'm not Chris Marks, but he's scheduled to be back tomorrow. So I'm Rayford Brown. And this is Live and Local Real Talk.
Good morning. Good Monday morning. It's going to be a fun Monday, and I'm Lee Barrows. Look, Rayford's already starting off wired this morning. 5:30 this morning, he's on the radio, and I'm like, "What in the world?"
Well, I was talking to the people getting weather information.
Yeah,
Trying to wake 'em up, wake 'em up.
Wired. Then he locked me out. Didn't even unlock the gate. He was so wired. I'm like, "Can I come in?"
Well, sometimes I lock people in, sometimes I lock people out.
I'm like, boom, he hit that gate, and I was like, "Oh."
Well, I had other things I was doing.
I thought about
talking to
scaling it, but I wasn't sure what alarms would go off.
Enough. Enough. You don't want to do that. We value you guys' opinions on most any topic, and while I, of all people, understand that certain issues make us passionate, we all need to be able to control our reactions to other folks' passions. We have our opinions, oftentimes based on our history with people and issues. I'll continue to respect yours, and I have no desire to change your minds. That's not what I want to do. I don't care what you think. I do, but I care not. I don't care in the way that I will change it, or I'll even try to change your mind.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'd become a politician. But I trust that
Ooh.
you will continue, most of you, to continue extending us the same courtesy. We got opinions. Don't try to change my mind. You can express your opinions, and they can be completely counter to mine, 180 out. It's okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I just let you express yours.
Okay. Is there
Then
a
don't
reason for
then don't
this
challenge
this
me. Don't
morning?
challenge our opinions. We have ours too. Just we have the same abilities and rights as you have. Okay,
Well, let's
got it.
start talking junk so I can give my opinion because I've got a lot to give this morning.
Idiots in Minnesota, you want junk?
Um,
You just don't know when to back
oh,
down. In some cases where protesters have stood for what's right, I respected their perseverance. Not the case with those in Minnesota. And for 42 of those folks, they will likely have a criminal record to deal with in the future when they try to get a job requiring background checks, passports, even an amateur radio license. And definitely, should they seek to buy a gun, they might have a problem. Actions have consequences. Sometimes the consequences are good if your actions are good. But if you're part of a mob and you get arrested for throwing stuff, including what have been described as vile, lewd things, at law enforcement officers, including federal agents, your future problems could haunt you for the rest of your lives. I'm sure that most of us remember back in the days of the school, oh my, those dreaded permanent high school records, and having to explain some of what you did, even back then when you were a dumb little kid. They haunt you forever. In
oh
Minnesota,
yeah.
42 people were arrested Saturday after chaos erupted outside a federal building in Minneapolis following a memorial for Minneapolis residents Renee Good and Alex Preddy. They got killed by federal agents last month while they were protesting. Video showed dozens of people being arrested as agitators shouted insults at state patrol officers, tore down yellow police tape, and hurled lewd objects at the cops. One protester screamed through a megaphone claiming the gathering was peaceful, while the group chanted, "No justice, no peace." Dozens of agitators came prepared. They had their gas mask with them. Notorious Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said the group was spreading love in a social media post that he put up there. Mr. Mayor, hey, His Honor, wake up.
Yeah, here's an ice bottle up against your head. We're spreading love.
Yeah, you won't be waking up. Rallying the protesters with a bullhorn, throwing stuff at law enforcement officers, and wearing gas masks because you anticipated your actions would have cops using tear gas to control the crowd of peaceful protesters are not signs that this gathering was planned to be peaceful.
Correct.
Which brings me to a socialist media post that my pal Lee, that sounds like an Asian name, doesn't it? My pal Lee brought to my attention this weekend. Calls for protest right here in Onslow County.
Yes.
What's the scoop, Lee?
Well, the scoop is, I was just trying to find the post, and I've got so many posts on here. I forget where I put them. It was a post, and that was on an Instagram account, and then it went viral for this area. And it was allegedly a group of students, not adults, but a group of students who have decided that they're going to do a walkout on, what was it, February 20th? I'm trying to find it.
Later this month.
I have lost it now. Yes, to protest ICE. First of all, what? We don't, let's not start something that, there's, why? Why do we
Don't let
want
your
to do
mouth
that?
overload your butt.
Yeah,
okay?
really. And
because I remember that permanent record I mentioned.
Yes.
And your desires to perhaps get into the military, to become a law enforcement officer, to get a law degree, so you can become a lawyer. All of these require oaths of office.
I sent it to you.
And they all require backgrounds done on you.
And I am trying to find.
It doesn't matter what you've got when you did it. If you got something in your criminal history or any kind of history, they're going to ask you questions about it. And all they got to do is get a feeling that they don't have to prove anything.
Right.
Your employer, your future employer, the one that you go to school and you go to college and you get this wonderful degree after spending 4 very long years, and you come out with a degree and you can't get a job, maybe there's a reason why.
Okay.
So be careful what you're doing.
This was posted on one of the Roadblocks page, and it was by Alana Cartier Brown. And it says, well, this day's going to be busy. How do y'all feel about this? And it says, OCS, meaning Onslow County Schools walkout. And it says, if I can read this, Onslow County Schools invite you to participate in what we hope to be one of the largest student protests in Jacksonville history. The schools stated are Northside High School, White Oak High School, Southwest High School, Jacksonville High School, and Jacksonville Commons Middle School. I recognize it's hard for Southwest students to attend because how far away the walkout is from the school. But Southwest students have shown to have a passion for this project. The walkout will take place Friday, February 20th, and they're talking about meeting in a shopping center off of Western Boulevard.
Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions before we get started here.
Okay.
OCS is calling for, they're saying there's going to be a strike, or Onslow County Schools. Who is Onslow County Schools?
Well,
isn't that the Board of Education?
We have a statement from the superintendent.
He's Onslow County Schools.
Dr. Christopher Barnes.
Who says?
And he says, and he put this out on February 7th. Dear Onslow County families, on Friday night, we became aware of a social media post claiming that an off-campus student walkout was being organized for several secondary schools. At this time, we do not have information that confirms how real, coordinated, or student-driven this effort may be. However, I want to assure you that neither Onslow County Schools nor any individual school is sponsoring, organizing, or encouraging any such event. If you have any questions, please contact your child's school principal. And that was Dr. Christopher Barnes,
So Dr. Barnes is saying that no,
He's saying what?
OCS, whoever put this thing out and she's no kin to me.
Right.
Whoever put this thing out, she said, or she's quoting somebody else.
She's quoting somebody
she's
else.
Quoting somebody else
Yes.
saying OCS. But did she go to the source and say, hey, wait a minute now, are you saying, I want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Are you saying, whoever put that post out there, are you saying that Onslow County Schools is sponsoring this protest?
That's the way the post read.
Yeah, I know that. That's what it read.
But you know what? Anybody that has information on this walkout, give us a call. We want to hear about it.
If there is any such walkout. And again, let me warn you, your actions will haunt you, children, for the rest of your lives.
And this walkout is against ICE. That's the purpose of the walkout, allegedly, is to
I got some ice in my cup right here. I just
protest
filled it
ICE.
up.
Yeah. The weather is cold that day. You call a fire truck, put some ice out there. But you know, I'm just like going, look, we live in a great town. We every now and then we'll have a group of people that will go to the street corner and protest something. They do it peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
They do it peacefully. Usually, it's just a very small
Are they
group.
calling for this to be done during school hours?
They're calling for this to be done during school hours.
Oh, you're
as
fired.
Students walking out of school. Well, I would say you
the
walk
doors
out
are
of
locked.
school.
When the doors are locked, you won't come back.
Isn't that? Can't you? I mean,
That's called skipping.
yeah, skipping school.
Don't
They still have those
We're
officers
the truant officers. So,
Truant.
no, I
That's
would
what I was
just
trying to think.
I would just close the doors. You will come back in. You get home the best way you can.
I want to know
And I would
who's stirring up this
And I would
mess.
also bar them from the school buses.
Mabuhay said the post did get shared to the kids, and many of them just blocked it. We have
Smart
great kids in Onslow County schools. We have such good kids.
But
And
kids are easily maneuvered.
yes.
Okay.
Well,
Especially by their peers. So
Right.
if their peers are doing this, or somebody else is jumping in there, just like the idiots in Minnesota are doing,
mhm,
leading a bunch of sheeple.
right.
People who follow groups like that are nothing but just sheep being led to slaughter.
All right. Why we want? First of all,
We don't have an issue.
we've not had an issue with ice around these parts, except for last week, the snowstorm. But we've not had any issues with our law enforcement,
Nope.
with anything at all in Onslow County. We're a good community. We're quiet. We're a large community.
Mhm.
The worst we ever have had to deal with is weather around these parts. If
Why
it's
don't you get out there and protest the ice that came down last week and the week before?
protest this hurricane season coming up,
Yeah.
let's just
Let's
protest.
tell them we don't
the
want
weather.
it. We're not going to have it.
We don't want it.
have any more hurricane
No.
seasons.
I mean, I saw that and I was like, who is steering this mess up?
Idiots.
Pathetic.
I'll just tell you right now. First of all, they don't even need to be in school if they follow this lead.
Well, I don't know that the kids even have any part
If
of
they
this.
follow this lead,
Uh-huh.
you're an idiot.
Well, it
And
could
just
be
get out of school
a
since you're
group.
smart.
Didn't we have a group of protesters, last month out there for a little while? What was it that they were protesting?
How dumb they are. They were proving how dumb they were.
Trying to remember
Okay,
what it was.
we're waiting for some information here. Unfortunately, yesterday,
Yes,
about
sad news.
5:30 in the afternoon, in the Richlands community on Mayberry Lane, I guess two kids. I don't know their ages. I do know one, I think, but that's just what we think
Right.
at this time. Managed to fall into a private pond there somewhere in that area, and they were pulled out by first responders who were arriving. I don't know whether I know deputies arrived, EMS arrived, likely fire department. I don't know who got them out,
Right.
but both were taken to the Naval Hospital, Naval Medical Center. No clue yet officially what their conditions are. We'll get you that as soon as this is made available. I know the sheriff's office had the information last night before early on, because I was in contact with the public information officer and he confirmed it a little bit, but we're not going with a little bit. Because he didn't have everything. So we're going to wait.
Well, my
We're
thoughts
going
and
to
prayers go out to everybody involved.
And we don't do socialist media
No.
information about stuff like this.
No, because we
Ever.
know how twisted that can
And
get.
how 98% of the time they're wrong.
That's right.
So don't go it. Don't do it. Don't believe it. I'm
Don't
not going
do
to report it. So don't even go there.
Understand.
Okay. Some people, let's do weather.
Okay, let's do weather first.
Those
All right.
winds over the weekend, Saturday,
Woo,
were
brutal.
nasty. It made 45-degree weather, which I have in the wintertime many times walked outside with short sleeve shirt on, not for long,
I do.
but just go outside for a few
yes.
minutes to do something, take the
Put the
trash,
trash
out,
out.
run the dog up and down the
Flip
street.
flops and a t-shirt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not this time.
Those winds, and it was 48 degrees on the thermometer. That's the thermometer
Right.
here.
Right.
48 degrees, and I just about froze to death. And I had two shirts on.
Mm-hmm.
I had an undershirt type thing. Then I had another shirt on top of that, and then I had a vest on.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I thought that wind was going to slam through me. I went out for just a very few minutes. And I said, God, I can't do this. I got to get back inside.
Well, I can honestly tell you, I never went out the door this weekend, except for the meeting Saturday morning. Came home, and today I'm out.
Thank goodness that we are having a little bit of a reprieve from the wind. Temperatures are still there, y'all. Our wonderful ocean waters are not as angry this morning as they have been either. Today, out to 20 nautical miles. Northerly winds 10 to 15 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 this afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet, 9 seconds apart. That's nice.
That's nice.
And they will continue to calm down as the day wears on. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop, diminishing to light chop in the afternoon. It's still going to be kind of chilly. Tomorrow, westerly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5 feet, 13-second intervals.
Ooh, nice. You could go out and take a nap on the water.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Near shore waves will be 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop in the afternoon and on Wednesday. Westerly winds 15 to 20, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 4 to 6 foot seas. Sounds and rivers a bit choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Today, tomorrow, if you want to travel out there on the water and have okay conditions, go for it.
Today, sunny with a high near 45 and a light north wind. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 29. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 67 degrees. Tuesday night, increasing clouds with a low around 48. I'll take it. Wednesday, a chance of afternoon rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 65. Oh, I'm so excited. We do
What's
have
the
a
nice
little,
low temperature
65.
tonight?
Oh, the low temperature tonight is 29, which that's twice as warm as what it was when I got up this
Yeah,
morning.
checking with the hams this morning. Randy out there in Southwest, It was 16 degrees, 80% humidity, and no wind, no rainfall. Said it was clear. It still is clear outside, but sunny now. Joe, in the Swansboro area, it was 18 degrees. It was kind of nippy there. 77 degrees, 77% humidity, no wind, no rain, 30.22 inches of mercury. Lee out at the back swamp area, he had the low 13 degrees. Ouch. 91% humidity, no wind, 30.15 inches of mercury in his barometer
Does that
reading.
make him the snow queen
Yeah, pretty
for this
pretty
morning?
much, yeah. Lee over in Woodlands, had 20 degrees, she said. 59% humidity, southwesterly winds at about 2 miles an hour, nothing in the rain gauge, and 30.00 inches of mercury. Dale and Carol live up there on River Bend, up the river around the bend in New River. He had 17 degrees, 73% humidity, northeasterly wind at 1 miles per hour, nothing in the rain gauge. Go to Cedar Point. Ward checked in this morning.
Oh, no, Ward, go with it.
Heat wave. 22 degrees. Can you imagine that being the high temperature of all the places we checked this morning? 50% humidity. They had a light breeze coming out of the north. Nothing in the rain gauge. 30.45 inches of mercury. Right here in Country Club, 15 degrees at the time. Oh, it's up to 16. We got a we got the trend coming up. It was 15 degrees at 5:30. 68% humidity. West southwesterly winds running calm up to 2 miles per hour at the time, and it's up to 5 miles per hour now. Nothing in the rain gauge, and 30.43 inches of mercury. And up there in New Hampshire, Dave in New Hampshire.
Good morning, Dave in New Hampshire.
Yeah, he had 7 degrees.
What?
Yeah, he had
Keep
winds,
it, Dave.
had winds out of the northwest 2 to 17 miles per hour, 3.75 inches of new snow. Nah.
You used to be our friend, Dave.
Yeah, but Tim over in
Don't want
Massachusetts, he had 10 degrees this morning,
Damn.
3 to 5 mile per hour winds out of the west. He had a trace of new snow and 8 inches of snow still on the ground. And we have a caller.
Bless you guys. Yes, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, how things out there in California? What's your temperature?
I just want to say I apologize. I did not remember your number, so I went online. I said live and local number, so I dialed the number. Just so there's no confusion. So anyway, it's hard to read your banner behind you. The number is very blurry.
Okay.
So what was your question? How is everything in California? I was curious.
I forgot already.
Are you guys
What's the
gonna talk about
temperature?
Super Bowl halftime show?
What?
You ask a question. Am I able to do what?
The Super Bowl halftime show.
I watched
I
Turning
didn't watch
Point
any of it.
USA.
Anything.
That was my choice. I did have Bad Bunny on the other TV. I had him muted, so I would glance that way occasionally. And sometimes I'd turn the volume
Is
up.
Bad Bunny like a rotten rabbit?
It was all in Spanish, so I'd mute it again and go back to Turning
Oh,
Point.
you like that, didn't you, Charlie?
That made me laugh. That made me laugh, actually.
I'm not. I mean, Bad Bunny in his own right. He's not my type of artist, and I really would prefer if Super Bowl is USA, right? It's part of being an American. Apple pie, going to grandma's house, watching the Super Bowl is part of living in the United States of America.
Do they have Super Bowl parties in, I don't know.
They do around the world.
Do they?
They do. They showed some of them last night, one in Brazil, one in Australia,
Really?
one in the UK, and people get into it. But the thing about it is, why do we have a halftime show that is strictly in Spanish? Now, Bad Bunny did post a couple weeks ago, y'all have time to learn Spanish.
No,
if
you
you want
don't.
to know what I'm singing, I shouldn't have to learn Spanish. Okay, number one. And,
Hey, did you try to punch that up on closed captioning? I wonder what would happen if you did.
wait. And then number two, there was one point where he was carrying a Mexican flag and other flags appeared from different countries. This is the US of A. I'm sorry. I just, nothing against Bad Bunny on a personal level.
Rotten
And
rabbit.
another thing that really irks my soul is because if you didn't want to watch Bad Bunny sing in Spanish, you were considered a racist. I'm tired of that
I'll be
card being
doggone.
thrown out.
I'm a racist.
I'm tired of
Son
that
of
card
a
being thrown
gun.
out.
Nobody told me.
No.
I never knew that.
Now, if it was Andrea Bocelli singing in Latin, oh, yeah, I'd be watching. But, that's a whole different thing. Never mind. Bad example.
What?
I'd watch Andrea Bocelli with sing anything.
What did you think about it, Charlie?
I didn't watch it, but the fact that anyone is saying the name Bad Bunny, okay, who has two names to their first name? First of all, it's absolutely ridiculous. The whole thing, it's a charade or charade. It's so goofy, and the whole thing is just ridiculous. I don't know how the NFL corporate machine works behind the scenes, but it seems like it's this massive billion-dollar enterprise where they're only about collecting money.
Yes.
And I don't understand. I'm not smart enough to understand how it works. I'm not sure if there's like pensions involved. Would they have to pay players? It just seems like this corporation. It doesn't seem like it's about American values or no. I don't. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that because that's going to come across as racist. It doesn't come across as like a sporting. Okay, so the Americans are known for football, not soccer. Nobody talks about soccer. So it's the NFL. It seems like it's this massive NFL conglomerate with there's billions of dollars at stake. So I don't understand it. So Rayford, maybe you can explain it to me.
The only thing I can tell you is it's like any other big business, apparently, and they really don't care, except for the corporate people making and the investors making all the money that they can make. I don't know that they spend any of this money that's made at the Super Bowl on the players. Okay, I don't know. They don't tell me. I don't care. If the players want to play, let them play. If they don't want to play, then you can stay at home. It'll be okay. We're not going to pay you to play in a Super Bowl.
I think it's
How would
part
that
of that
sound to you?
I think it was part of that Hollywood woke culture that did this, and I wonder would Bad Bunny had won Artist of the Year recent Grammy Awards if it wasn't for the controversy over him singing at the Super Bowl. Just wondering, throwing it out there. Can agree or not.
Trying to get a show, put together a show and whether you want to call it an all-American event or something we know since 1967 that has started out as and it's been an American thing, right?
Yes.
I don't care if the rest of the world enjoys it. I don't care if we have foreign entertainers or players from other parts of the world playing in the NFL. I don't care. It's okay, but it's still its roots, if you want to look at it that way, are born here in America.
I just thought it was a very elaborate show because I'm watching out of the corner of my eye.
So why are you trying to find something so radical just to get attention? Is this guy even that good? You won't know.
Well, I don't know. He spent his whole time holding his crotch and a bunch of women
Maybe he was looking for it.
And he sang every single thing in Spanish. How about a song in English to appeal to both sides? Appeal to both sides. That's what an entertainer does. He's there to appeal to everybody.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. You might as well. I'm on a rant.
Obviously, there's a corporate board, and all of them sat around a round table. And they said, listen, we're in a business. We need to find a halftime act that appeals to our demographic. At what point does someone raise their arm and say, you know what, I get it. We need to get a Latino that appeals to all of us. And that's fine. Maybe I heard the whole thing was in like Spanish, and that's fine, but maybe like one song in English.
Exactly.
I don't get it. This guy seems like a complete freak of nature. I think he dresses as a woman, which is fine if that's what you're into, if you're a pronoun. Mm-hmm. I just don't think. It's just amazing. If you go back, to all the different world wars, all the people that died for this country, if they were alive right now, and they saw what was going on, and they could say, yeah, there's racism, there's this, there's that. Now they're trying to say Donald Trump is a racist because of a video that he released. Most people don't realize how many disgusting, disturbing, racist things that Joe Biden has said throughout his career. Horrific, horrible, racist things.
They all
but nobody
have.
talks
Everybody
about that.
has.
I don't even know what to say there.
Look, I have no problem with Bad Bunny. I didn't even know who he was until it was announced he was going to play for the Super Bowl. The only thing that bothered me was if you're going to have an artist come on, have them come on and be there to entertain everyone.
What makes a bunny bad?
It's USA.
No, seriously. You're saying you are Bad Bunny. What makes you bad? What makes you tick?
Well, he did a little stint.
I've bet some bunnies with 4 legs. I've seen some bunnies with 2 legs.
He did a little stint with the WWE.
Can I say something? When's the last time you ran into a bad bunny? When's the last time you were at a pet store and you saw a little fluffy, beautiful bunny? It was bad.
They're not bad.
No, they're beautiful. They're nice.
Well, he did a little stint there with the WWE, a little guest star stint there. And I never realized that it was the same Bad Bunny until all this other came out. Yeah, Bad Bunny was...
Can you take somebody like that seriously?
I heard... Did the Super Bowl audience boo at all? Did they accept
I had it muted.
Here's what I would like Bad Bunny to do for his encore. I would like him to take it to the NASCAR race and perform, and then we will have Dead Rabbit Stew.
Oh, look.
Okay?
He's coming back to make another WWE appearance.
Oh, he gonna flatten his
butt.
That
I don't mind. Because, a lot of your wrestlers are from other countries. They talk foreign language and stuff. But the WWE is for Everybody.
They could talk like that to get a base on that real like this. What?
May not be long before Bad Bunny is performing on another major stage.
Latin Bunny.
And it just,
Charlie, thank you. I needed some humor.
I don't know what we get from this, but take care, bye.
I needed some humor this morning, Charlie. Thank you. I think he left.
yeah. We got Jennifer.
Jennifer, oh my
Well,
Lord,
let me
here we
get my
go.
coffee.
Unchained, here we go.
Hey, Jennifer.
Jennifer?
Jennifer called
Well,
us
hold
back.
on, Jennifer. Don't hang up.
Don't hang up.
Because Lee over here muted you. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Oh. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. I just wanted to call in and weigh in on all the Super Bowl crap. No, I didn't watch it. Didn't watch Super Bowl halftime. I didn't watch Turning Point USA halftime. And I'm going to tell you, this is just how I feel about it. I don't think that it was a good move at all to have. I had never heard of Bad Bunny until all of this madness.
Bad Bunny.
So, like Lee said, it is the Super Bowl, the United States teams. Now, here you've got somebody that isn't even going to try and do anything in English, going to support everything other than the United States. Get up there cussing and dropping the F-bomb and all that at the Grammys. You know, had to make his political statement.
Yes.
But then the whole, to me, when they had and I'm a fan of the Turning Point, don't get me wrong. But when they had that as an alternative, now come on, people. It's not like there was only two things to watch on the bloody TV.
I got plenty.
You didn't have to have that as an alternative.
And I had 3 books I haven't read yet.
All it did was cause more division in this country.
Yep.
And before it was even over, local television stations that I still follow from North Carolina, who are you watching for? Which Super Bowl halftime did you watch?
Yeah, I saw WITN put out a survey.
Rate that. Rate the performance. And all it is doing is causing more division.
Yep.
If you don't want to watch the halftime, use that time to go make you another cup of coffee, make you a sandwich, go to the bathroom, go let the dogs outside, do whatever you want to do, and then go back and watch it. And to me, that's just how I feel, and that's just how I roll with it.
I think that the NFL ought to fool Bad Bunny. I think that the NFL should pay him in pesos and send him on his way.
No, I'll watch him when he comes on WWE.
I mean, it was a very, very. I would have rather just take that time to run the commercials and talk to the sports commentators and see what they're thinking about the game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just it I don't know. It just such division. And I'm going to tell you what, I'll go ahead and say this. If I was a parent of a student in Onslow County, my child would be going to school that day. There wouldn't be a chance of them having peer pressure or whatever to walk out. I'd just keep them home.
Oh, no. I'd send them to school without having any comments, and then I would be at the school. And when I saw them outside, I would snatch them up.
I went down the rabbit hole of looking at the comments on one of the posts.
Oh, yes.
And these stupid parents, that's their right to protest.
No, it's not.
And that's their right for this and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, yeah, that's what it comes down to. You have these parents that are saying, oh, yeah,
That's a great thing. Get out there and protest instead of taking yourself to school. But
They don't have any rights, to be honest with you. They have a right to get an education and a right to do what their parents say. Otherwise, get out of school while you got a chance and you know everything and get a job. Duh.
you're right.
While you're still smart, go get yourself a job. Now.
But anywho, that is just my 2 cents.
She
which
brings
is
up a
worth
very
about,
good point.
I don't know,
Very
maybe
good
a
point.
half of one. But from up here in the hills of East Tennessee, that's just my 2 cents on.
All right, hillbilly.
And,
Thank you, ma'am.
all right, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, you know, she brings up a very valid point. Makes a lot of sense. I understand that completely. Why add to the frustration? But, you know, having the alternative, I understand both sides of the argument. We've had other entertainers in the past that have been Latino or whatever, like J-Lo. She got up there, did a halftime show, excellent show. We've had Bruno Mars, who I absolutely love. We had different people from different cultures get up and do the halftime show, but they performed for everybody. I just was very disappointed that this year's halftime
He's a
show
flash in the pan.
flash in the pan.
He
okay?
won't be there that long at the top of this game. Okay.
Right.
This was
Well-
it. And this probably shot him down. I mean, you know, this did not do him any favors, to be honest with you.
Well, you know how divided people are,
And
and
that's
there's
what it
going to
is.
be people, no matter what he
Yep.
does, they've got him up there on a pedestal, which he seems to be a great performer, you know, but I cannot enjoy listening to music that I don't understand.
I'm not going to.
I'm just, it's not me.
Why should I listen to it? I don't want to. Okay. Some people never grow out of a habit of dealing and using drugs. We've known that, right?
Yes.
Now it's my turn.
All right.
Along
go
with drug
ahead.
offenses, you often find a lot of other crimes. Did you know that? While it's considerate of these individuals to help law enforcement officers stay busy, at some point in time, the amount of time and money it takes to investigate, arrest, gather more evidence, prepare the paperwork, which takes the cops away from going after other bad guys, meet with the district attorney, listen as defense lawyers try to make deals with the state in order to reduce the amount of prison time these frequent flyers actually spend in prison, time that costs taxpayers more than $50,000 a year per prisoner to keep them away from decent people. That's what it costs us to house a prisoner in deals, the Department of Corrections,
50,000?
at least. What purpose does it serve to keep going after these same thugs or slugs? At what point in time should society just surrender and work on a plan that lets the dogs eat the dogs and send all of them to a location where they will never see anyone normal again? England did that way back when. It established a penal colony on an island we now call Australia. We've run out of islands with space to handle these useless scum buckets. A month ago, the Onslow Sheriff's Office, in an investigation, found a frequent flyer with cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine, digital scales, plastic bags, and a magnetic case used to package and conceal controlled substances.
Good golly.
On the 6th, that was last Thursday,
Yes.
Friday.
Yes.
On the 6th, last Friday, the investigators arrested 49-year-old James R. Dahlbender. He'll be 50 in March. And when he gets to court on the current charges, I would hope that the judge be provided with this man's list of felony convictions dating back to 2002, 24 years ago. But before we get to his convictions, 10 days before he was arrested on that drug charge, additional charges were filed accusing him of second-degree kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, and an injury to property from a separate incident on January 22nd, just a week or so before he was arrested on the drug charges from earlier in January. According to the warrants, he's accused of unlawfully confining and restraining 2 people for the purpose of terrorizing them.
What?
Investigators also say he struck the passenger window of a vehicle with a metal baseball bat during that incident. Keep in mind that all of these are for offenses that occurred in January of this year. Everything I've told you so far, 3 weeks into the making in January. That's it. The year was just getting started. 24 years ago, Dahlbender was arrested for the first time, charged with possession of drugs with the intent to sell. That's a felony. All total, he has been arrested a dozen times on various drug charges. Most were felonies dealing with possession with intent and the sale of dope. He's also been charged with assault, multiple driving offenses, violating his probation, larceny, soliciting, and abetting prostitution. That ought to be a hoot. Multiple driving offenses, assault with a deadly weapon, communicating threats, driving while impaired, driving with a revoked driver's license 3 times. After spending minimal time in prison while on probation as a condition of several suspended sentences, he was ordered to serve a minimum of 11 months and a maximum of 14 months in the big house for another pair of felony drug convictions. Only 11 months minimum and up to a maximum of 14 months for 2 counts of felony drug possessions. After all of these other things that he's been convicted of, well, somehow, someone, we've got to get hold of the DOC, the Department of Corrections. A minimum of 11 months, a maximum of 14 months. How much time do you figure you will serve? Somewhere between 11 months and 14 months, right?
Right.
Somebody at the Department of Corrections or the parole division, y'all need a refresher in math. For the 11 months minimum sentence, he spent 9 months in prison.
9 months.
So 11 to 14 months, with the 11 months as the minimum time, just who gets to decide that this man, who had already been convicted multiple times, should be released 2 months before he even served the minimum time? Okay, I'm not finished. Moving forward, given his history and his never-ending ongoing crimes, Dahlbender was tried as an habitual felon. Yeah, but he was. At one time, some areas saw bad repeat offenders getting some real quality time behind bars with something called 3 strikes, you're out. What happened to those days? We've become so soft on crime that serious time behind bars is not a reality, nor is it a deterrence. A bad guy can take a break, learn some more tricks of the trade while he's in prison. They get out. They're not concerned about being in prison. They've been there before. They'll be there again. They know it's a way of life until they die. And people like Dahlbender are back on the streets in the alleys selling dope before the ink is dry on their parole papers. It's time to abolish the parole board. Uh-oh.
What?
It is time to abolish the useless parole board. What do they do? It's time to require that repeat offenders serve the full time they're given. If you've been there before, why should I think you're not going to do it again? Yep, you need to serve the entire maximum sentence that's awarded you, not a day less. It's time that our legislature adopt laws to protect we the people and not them the felons. The mentality in good business organizations, in most cases, is that it's cheaper, meaning more cost efficient, to keep seasoned employees, good seasoned employees, than to let them go to another company, then to recruit, hire, and train new employees. We agree with that, right?
Right.
It's cheaper to keep them when you got them. Does anyone not agree that it would be cheaper for police agencies, insurance companies, the courts, and you and me? That it would be much cheaper to keep the bad people in prison than to release them, waiting for them to commit more crimes, launch investigations, build cases, arrest them, run through the never-ending court processes, and send them back to the prisons? That costs even more money. If we do not have the space in prisons, that's what they claim, I'm sure there are enough abandoned coal mines in this country that could be easily secured to take care of the baddest of the bad. You might not agree with the tough punishment. If not, do you have a solution to suit our needs? Do you have a solution that will work? Don't try to convince me my solution is not a good one. Just give me a better one. Conducting business the way we're doing, it certainly isn't working. Yes, laws and policies would have to be changed. The Constitution would have to remain intact. We cannot violate the Constitution. We would, as a society, have to decide what is cruel and unusual punishment. I agree that my plan is unusual. I do not think it's cruel. It's certainly no more cruel than the punishment that criminals cause us. But give me a better solution. I'm willing to listen.
Well, it sounds like not getting the maximum and only getting 9 or 10 months, that's like a vacation for that person. They go in, they get taken care of for 9 months.
Pay taxes.
No taxes, the kickback, no responsibility other than for their own private self. And we take care of them, and then they're back out, ready to resume what they were doing.
This record of his that I looked up, many of the times that he was rearrested was while he had just been placed on, was awaiting trial, and other times while he was out on probation. I'm sorry. Excuse me? There should be no probation. There should be no parole. Once you do the bad deeds, whatever you want to call it, 3 strikes and you're out, do it. But then do it.
Well,
that's up to our district attorney, our judges, and the prison system.
I just think our justice system, our prison system, our laws need an overhaul.
They need to be written and rewritten and handled, modified. We got good laws. We got laws in the books that are perfect. We don't need to rewrite the laws themselves for the crimes that are being committed. We got to rewrite the way their punishment is being implemented. We've got to do that. We cannot turn these people out on society. Every time a bad person is released from prison, one who's doing dope, or one, let's just say he's a break-in artist, he's a burglar. When he's out, what do you think he's doing? He doesn't know anything else. He's not going to learn anything in prison except how to do the crime without getting caught. He hopes. But he gets caught. How much do you think it cost with this one idiot who's released from prison on parole? He still hasn't done his full sentence. He's on parole. He gets out. He goes out and he breaks into my house and he steals stuff. He breaks into your house and he steals stuff. We got to call the cops. How much are they going to cost? They're going to have a couple. They're going to have a patrol officer to come by, take him away from patrolling the streets. Then you're going to have a detective follow up. Then they're going to keep looking, and they're going to follow up and follow up and follow up. They will run down all the possible leads. They got fingerprint technicians. They got the forensics team that will be in there. It's an expensive proposition just to do the investigation. And you haven't even got to the part of arresting the bum, rearresting the bum.
Well, yeah.
Or the trial. How much do you think a trial costs for a guy like that? Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds. Yes.
Why? Why bother?
And we waste so much time and money on.
So we just let them stay free. There you go. That's not what you're saying, but that's what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, but it's like the one court case I'm watching right now. It was a 24-year-old cold case. And they're spinning, and look, it's in like a second week. If you watched it, you'd be so frustrated. The defense attorney, every other word is, I want to call for mistrial. And the judge keeps saying, no, shut up, sit down. It goes back and forth all day. Really, from what I've seen so far, could I convict him on what little bit of evidence they have? Is strictly DNA. I don't know, but the hours that have been spent on this case, the time, the people involved in prosecuting, in the defense. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars for a 24-year-old cold case. They're probably gonna find him not guilty for lack of evidence. I mean, do some of these prosecutors think about this stuff? I mean, don't let a guy go because you think we may not be able to prove it, but have your stuff together. It's been the worst case I've ever watched.
Well, prosecutors, when you've got a guy that his attorney is a district attorney or ADA, assistant district attorney, they may have 100 cases they're working on, right?
Right.
They're trying to get through them so they can clear up the court so they can keep on going. Because every time they come before a judge and a defense attorney is making a motion to continue the trial, well, guess what? You've just tied up. You tied up court. You've tied up,
right?
And you've cost everybody some time and money, and then they have to reschedule it. Well, the ADA, the assistant district attorney handling that case, has still got all these other cases to deal with. At some point in time, the lawyers, the defense lawyers know what they're doing.
Right.
They're cagey. They will continue as long as they will allow them to continue it. And there are generally a certain number of times that for virtually no reason that they can continue a case, request a continuance. After that, judges get involved and say, you've had enough. Try this case. At that point in time, the DA has got to say, I got to get this thing tried. Oh my God, I've got this murder case. I got to get this behind me. What kind of deal can you offer me?
That's
what they would do.
I mean, I'm not sure that I even know that this guy's guilty. I mean,
what do you mean? Guilty again?
Guilty.
The guy you're watching?
The one that I'm watching right now is the University of Georgia lost a student that was killed her first year, murdered, and then her apartment set on fire. 24 years later, they've got this new way of testing the DNA, and he came back as the suspect. So, but everything else is so weak. And if you're sitting on that jury, can you convict solely on a little piece of DNA?
Yeah. Where did they get it? I mean, can you convict solely on a bullet? I mean, that weighs 125 grains.
And witnesses, 24 years later, 25 years later, witnesses are going,
yeah.
I think I remember. Well, would it help for you to refer back to your statement in 2001? Yeah. And I mean, it's just, I'm all for cold cases being solved. It's important.
Yeah. Yep.
It's so important. But this case right now, I don't think they were even ready to go to court.
Well,
you
got to deal with the cards you got to play the cards you've been dealt.
True. In other news, have you been watching any of the Olympics?
No.
Well, I have.
Good.
Somewhat in between.
Yeah, but the only thing
other
you
things.
watch car crashes for the NASCAR.
That's this Sunday at 2:30.
You watch NASCAR for the car crashes, and you watch the Olympics because of what?
What?
What happened?
Because I like the Olympics.
What was the big part of the news that happened?
Oh, no. You just mean Lindsey
Vaughn. This morning and said, "Oh, did you see that crash? You hear that?"
Yeah, Marty and I were talking about Lindsey Vaughn. First of all, why was she back out there?
The crash.
She just recently tore her ACL.
She had a crash,
and then she got out 13 seconds into her run downhill. Boom!
See what I mean?
But no, I watched the figure skating, the alpine skiing, the snowboarding, bobsled. I like the Winter Olympics.
But you were waiting for a crash.
No, I wasn't. Why would I want Lindsay to crash?
I don't know that you wanted her to crash, but you were. If it was going to happen, you wanted to be watching it.
Oh, Rayford, that's wrong. Anyway, and Daytona's this Sunday at 2:30. So I will have a do not disturb sign on my door, on my phone, on my social media. Don't bother me.
People calling you can't read your phone.
I am not answering
Turn it off.
phone. Listen, no, I never turn my phone off. So far to date, you want to know how many medals the USA has won?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we just started this a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Figure skating, they got 1 gold medal.
Uh-huh.
Alpine skiing, we got 1 gold medal. And that's it. That's all.
So 2 in 2 days.
That's all. That's all we've got.
Who else has gotten gold medals?
I did not bring up everybody else.
How do we compare?
All right. Well, let's look. How many gold medals?
How many?
All right. Last year we kept a tracker on this.
How many events
here we
have
go.
there been?
Here we go. Norway. Norway has won 3 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze.
It's a winter event.
United States has won 2 gold. That's all. Italy has won 1 gold, 2 silver.
Norway only won 2 gold.
6 bronze. Good Lord.
If you don't get first place, they don't count. If it's not gold, it doesn't count.
Right now, Italy is leading the way with a total of 9 medals. But there's a lot of countries here that have gotten 0. So anyway, but it's only the beginning. And I got so tickled. She's my daughter. My daughter texted me the other day. She said, "Did you watch the opening ceremonies?" And I said, "No, because I was watching something else, meant to go back and watch it." Mm-hmm. She goes, "Well, who was the older man that sang?" And And the way she described it, I knew exactly who she was talking about without even having to look it up. But I looked it up. It was Andrea Bocelli. And I know you don't, but anyway. And I said, was it Andrea Bocelli? She said,
no,
yeah.
I don't.
She said, I started crying, Mom, listening to him sing. I said,
Was
oh,
he that
she's my
bad?
daughter.
I thought he was
No, she's my daughter. No, he's wonderful.
Hmm.
He's an opera singer. He sings opera, contemporary, and
I
all
know
sorts
who
of
he
stuff.
is.
But yeah.
He's a great singer.
Oh, he's wonderful.
Mhm.
I
See,
have,
that's got class at
Yes.
the Olympics.
yes,
Hmm.
not grabbing his crotch or nothing.
Hmm.
But he's very classy, and he's great. And his son Mateo is following the same suit. Oh, he's a wonderful singer too. But anyway, that is our update for the Olympics so far. We've got 2 gold medals for the United States. So come on, USA. Got to get busy.
Well, they'll get us something we can do sooner or later, I'm sure.
But I love watching the ice skating. Oh man, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
I spent the
just wait for them
weekend.
to fall and get hurt.
Rayford, I'm not.
Isn't that what you're doing?
No, NASCAR's. No, I don't watch NASCAR just for the wrecks.
I was talking about.
Yeah, but you make it sound like every sport I watch is for people to get hurt. That's not true.
Well, I know not in football. You look for the tight ends.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my
That's
goodness.
what you
You
said.
and Chris.
That's
both
not
of
what
you.
I said. That's what you said.
I never. You said that.
You're the ones who
Oh,
brought.
dear.
You're the one who brought it up over there at the gas
Pretty
station
guys.
that was not there anymore.
Oh my gosh.
They had to
That
close
used
it
to be the
down.
Cardinal 66. You remember that? Cardinal 66. Used to be that gas station
what
on the
it was?
corner of Henderson
I
and
don't know.
Gumbridge. Yeah, Cardinal 66.
I don't remember it.
Way back in the day. Now it's the Walgreens pharmacy.
They don't allow you on the premises, do they?
Anyway, getting back to this weekend, what I was doing this weekend, in between watching everything else, I followed the Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, talk about that. This is getting kind of really weird.
I have a rant on that too, but go ahead.
I'm just saying it's just getting kind of
They're
weirder.
supposed to pay the ransom today.
Well, there's supposed to be another deadline for the ransom is
5 o'clock today.
5
Our
o'clock.
time.
Our time.
5 o'clock
No,
their
or-
time.
Or is it
which-
5 o'clock Mountain Time?
Yeah, 5 o'clock Utah time. See, Arizona. God,
Which
so
would,
much I'm
which would be like 9 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock our
Right.
time, whatever it is. So I don't know. There's
the whole
some,
thing is weird.
there's some. It's unusual. It's an unusual
I
case.
agree.
Unusual involvement. I mean, I can't imagine what it would have been like back in the days of the Lindbergh baby being kidnapped.
Right.
But it's there. But anyway, she was kidnapped. Everybody seems to assume that now.
Everybody's
did.
pretty much in agreement over that.
But there's some that are like, this is the weirdest kidnapping that I've ever heard of. First of
Yeah,
all,
why
they demanded $1 million first.
Right.
Now they came back, they want $6 million. They want it in Bitcoin.
6 million in Bitcoins.
Bitcoin.
Right.
No, Bitcoin can be traced.
Right.
Even at
Well-
the very instant you drop the dime, it's traceable.
The FBI is saying that it's really, really hard to trace. But this is my opinion on happening. The FBI is not telling us everything as
not.
they should.
And they're
not
lying.
do that. A lot of things that are happening and that people are seeing, it's not really, it's a smokescreen. I really do feel like, and I pray I'm right, sometime today there's going to be a huge arrest, something. I think the FBI has pretty much probably known from the point they came in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're waiting. They're letting. I think that having the family go in there and say we'll pay the ransom, that all could be planned by the FBI. I don't know, but this is where I got so frustrated this weekend. Like the family came out with another statement on Instagram where Savannah Guthrie said, "We hear you. We understand what you're saying. We will pay. We just want our mother back so we can celebrate with her." So you've got all this different media analyzing what she said. Everything that is done, they have to analyze every single word. And you have these so called experts that get on there and say, well, I think they already know that she's dead and they just want her body back so they can celebrate
No,
her
that's not
life.
what she said.
And it goes on and on. Yesterday, the sheriff's department has been hired by the family to provide security at the residence, at the house. They're paying for the sheriff's department to stay there,
Yeah.
which I understand why. And so a couple other deputies came up and decided, hey, let's go check the storm drain. Let's go check the sewer drain, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, people got all excited. And you got your national media talking about, well, something's up. No, nothing's up.
Well, they got a drone. Somebody's got drones flying over the thing.
Fox does.
I would put a no-fly zone.
The Fox
whole
flight
area.
team does. Right.
I would do that. That's not.
It's just
'cause
that.
during an investigation, if you do things that, in the opinion of the investigators, is interfering, you can be arrested for it. And that includes flying your helicopters, your news helicopters, or flying your drones over, or anything else. You can be arrested for it if they can show you, present any kind of a case that's interfering.
Well, first of all, I think the reason why that they were checking a lot of this stuff yesterday is this is stuff that they didn't actually do during the initial investigation. They're still checking stuff. They're still looking at stuff because, they have to have it complete. I do believe, in my opinion, that the sheriff probably made a bad decision when, after the first day, they went and they investigated the crime scene, and then he released the home back to the family.
Don't do that.
From that point on, the crime scene became contaminated. The FBI was not notified at first, but when they were notified and they came in, they did their own crime scene investigation. After they got finished, they took down the tape and went on. But since then, they had an instance the other day where the FBI came back out to do additional investigation and cordon everything off for a while. But I just think that the sheriff's office more or less has turned it over to the FBI. Well, the FBI is heading the investigation.
They can assume jurisdiction in a case like this.
Right. But, because a sheriff's deputy appears on the property, oh, let's go check this or that, people are assuming that, oh, there's a break in the case. They're following up on their investigation. They're following up on things they probably should have already done.
They are out there doing security or whatever.
Right.
And they say, I wonder if anybody's checked this thing.
Right.
And they decide to do it.
Exactly.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? I mean, has anybody looked under this bush over here?
Right.
That's what you would do. I mean, there's nothing big about that.
No.
I wouldn't have. And if they want to cover it with their stupid drones and whatever, and nothing is found, then there's no story.
Some of this,
just because they got drones up there does not make it a news story.
Sometimes some of this national media, I am so tired of them dissecting every movement or what everyone says.
Yeah.
And they go, it must mean this, it must mean. Why don't y'all just stop? And all this information they're giving out, the would-be kidnappers are listening to every bit of this. I'm just
interfering.
Yes, interference, really. If everybody would just be quiet, let the FBI do their job and the sheriff's department do their jobs. I think that they can solve this case. It's a weird case, but I think it's going to end up being, once they're able to solve it, something that we all kind of figured to begin with. So I don't know. We'll see.
Former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swicker. Remember him from years ago?
No.
He's questioned whether Guthrie's disappearance is truly a kidnapping. I'm very skeptical of this, he said. Is this really a kidnapping? Does anybody really have her? And is she really alive?
Mm-hmm.
Swecker pointed to the lack of a verified proof of life. He said, if this was a real kidnapping, it would be a very simple matter to authenticate and provide proof of life. It has not been credibly attempted at this time. He also raised concerns about the reported Bitcoin ransom, which he noted dramatically increased. Yeah, that's what I said. Went from $1 million to $6 million in 2 or 3 days. Such proof has not been. That's just not the way things normally work. Swecker emphasized investigators must allow for other possibilities, saying you have to allow for the possibility that this was something more or something other than a kidnapping, and acknowledge the family's understandable hope as the investigation continues. If it was a kidnapping, it's not following the stereotypical. According to the FBI. Now, the FBI is not saying this. This is a former FBI guy.
Right.
The FBI is not saying much of anything. That's the way the FBI works. When they got a break in the case, they will let us know. They're not going to handle it, which I totally agree with, as they were in the beginning. News releases coming out, a press conference every 4 or 6 hours or whatever. No.
Well, they haven't done a press conference since I think it was Saturday morning. Might have been
since
Friday.
the FBI got their butts in there and took over. Yeah, because the FBI does not want to do it that way.
I was not impressed with the sheriff's presser.
Well, he is
not impressed with him.
He's way beyond his out of his league. Okay,
he is. Yes, he's admitted that.
I can't fault him. What kind of experience does he have in something this significant?
That's right.
I mean, and not anything bad against him. He's doing the job that he was elected to do, and the job that the citizens there require under 99% of the time. So.
but you bring up a very valid point. He's never been involved in something as big as this. And he said, hindsight, looking back now, he should have never released the scene. He should have left the tape up. Sure. He should have left, and I can understand it. I'm just not a big fan of his news conferences, but he's not polished as far as giving a news. It's probably his first time ever.
Doesn't need to be.
Yeah. But he just, a lot of things that he said, I felt like, and I wouldn't have said that.
You got your buddy down there in Florida. I mean, he's polished because he's just a good old boy.
Judge, you talking about Sheriff Grady?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good old boy, but the reason he's so good is because he just does it all the time. And he's just like himself all the time. And he has the smart ass comments like I have all the time.
Right.
The bed and breakfast, the whatever it is, I think they got a daycare facility a lot of times for
I'm gonna tell you, I love Sheriff Grady. Oh man,
he's entertaining, and he says
funny.
what the rest of us are thinking. He doesn't do the polished routine. Here we have suspects number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right. Well, talking about sheriffs now, Sheriff Nano. From Arizona, the one that is involved in the Guthrie case. Oh man, people have gone nuts over the fact that he was videotaped attending a college basketball game over the weekend. Does that make him a bad person?
They missed the opportunity. They missed 3 other opportunities. One, they didn't get him while he was eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and they missed him when he went to the bathroom too. They should have gotten those too.
Well, do you think because he took some time for himself, some personal time, he went to a college basketball game, does that make him a bad sheriff?
Sure.
Does that make him look bad because he wasn't sitting out at the Guthrie house in a patrol car?
Is not the lead agency.
Does that mean he still doesn't feel in his heart sadness?
Does that mean that he's not available on 30 seconds notice to be there?
And from the video I saw, he didn't look happy at all.
He's not very happy.
But oh my gosh, even Fox News.
Y'all don't understand the stress that people are under.
Even Fox News bashed him for
I'm
attending
sure
the
they
game.
did. Big deal. Hey, Chucky, you're back. Charles.
Charlie.
Assume it's me. Hopefully, it's going to be somebody different. Hey, listen.
Nope.
So, are you currently discussing the Guthrie thing, or are you over it?
We're through. Still discussing it.
We're still discussing
So,
it.
can I give you my 28-second take on it?
Sure, go ahead.
So with today's technology, everybody seems to have these like Ring cameras at every street, every corner, every door. It seems like they can go back like 2 or 3 miles and they could like study every vehicle
Yep.
that enter that perimeter.
Yep.
And maybe enter and they can get the license plate. The whole thing about sending emails about Bitcoin, I guess Bitcoin, basically you can set up an account and you can send it to somebody and you have no clue who this person is
Correct.
and they get all the money. The fact that they're doing these anonymous emails, everything seems too bizarre to me. They can't, like, somebody in like forensic computing can't say, listen, this is where this email originated from.
Nope.
We can trace it back to Ecuador or South America. So I said like 18 or 28 seconds. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it.
The whole thing is bizarre. I'm not saying it's not a kidnapping. If it's a kidnapping, it's the most unusual one since Frank Sinatra's son was kidnapped. They returned him in the trunk of the car.
It's
But
crazy.
y'all forgot about that one, didn't you?
No, because they've talked about that recently. They talked about Lindbergh. They talked about Frank Sinatra.
But you guys, let me ask you a question. I mean, Savannah Guthrie, she's an NBC, whatever co-host. Right. Her mother, the whole story is really sad. But then I started reading certain things about her mother online, and nobody wants to be kidnapped. Nobody deserves to be killed. I like to see human beings that are monsters suffer mentally. I don't want them to die. But there's so many bizarre things in her posts and her like online social media about horrible, hateful things about Trump. Just kind of like leftist, strong, liberal type things that aren't really good. And I think Savannah Guthrie, I think she had the same type of, similar foundation. I think she was very negative towards Trump and the Republican Party. So, yeah, I'm just curious. What do you guys think about that?
That's if they leave politics out of it, everybody has a right to their own views. She has a right to dislike Trump as much as I have a right to dislike, idiots on the streets, or anything else. I mean, as much as I cannot respect a president that should not have been elected in the first place, who should not have served, Mr. Biden, and that was way beyond out of his league. He couldn't do it. Never should have been there. But I don't. I have a right to not like him or not respect him. She has the same right.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
and you don't have to have a reason. You really don't have to have a reason. I can just not like them because I don't like the way they look. I don't know. I mean, if he sniffed my hair like that, he wouldn't be sniffing anything else for a while. But Biden, that is. If you remember those days, oh God, pepper spray up the nose will really kill your smelling abilities for a long time.
Can I say, go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
But people have their rights to do this, and she had her rights. Does that mean kidnapping her is okay? No, it does not. Was she kidnapped? Bizarre. I don't know. I think she was. All the law guys seem to think she was, at least on the surface. That's what they're saying. Are there other possibilities? That's what they're having to check. They should be checking it.
Hey, can I say something about racist people?
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of those.
Yeah, in 2010, and this is documented, you can see it on video. Nobody can deny it. They can say, hey, you're crazy. Why are you saying this? But nobody's ever going to talk about this. There's 2 things I'm going to mention. In 2010, Joe Biden delivered a 22-minute eulogy, the longest speech, at Senator Robert Byrd's memorial service, calling the former KKK member a friend, mentor, and guide. It's true. He absolutely said that. He called a former member of the KKK a friend and a mentor and a guide.
Well, what people have done in their past, okay?
He was past 40.
Yeah.
He was in his 40s. Well, listen.
No. What I'm talking about is what a person has done with their life in the past. Suppose that, unless you've been doing criminal offenses and you continue doing them, I don't ever forgive you for doing things like that. But if you see the light of day, I mean, how many religious leaders do we have today who started out in their lives as everything from drug dealers to whatever, and they get up and they profess their sins, and then they say, I am a better person. It caused me. I went to prison. It caused me to become this and this and this and this, and it probably did. Can you ever forgive them for it? Yeah. And he might become your best friend. You don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have any best friends like that, but because usually I run background checks on my friends.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're charlatans. I mean, respectfully, if anybody listens to this, you guys, religion to me is it's just made up by man or woman, and they convince people to follow their words or whatever diagram that they believe. And listen. Scientology, is created by an absolute lunatic. They're all religion to me is lunacy. But I respect your lunacy if you're involved with religion.
Yep. I mean, if that's your thing, I'm okay with that, as long as it's not going to hurt me or mine. If that's what you believe, go for it, dude. Don't try. But again, do not try to sell your leanings, whether they're over religious, whether you believe in or practice supporting or your political persuasions. Or don't try to convince me to see it the way you do. I'll see it the way I want to see it. And I hope you respect that. I'll respect your views. You respect mine.
Hey, can I say one thing, and I'm going to leave you with this?
Okay.
So this is actually factual. You could say, it's actually not factual. In 1977, I think it was like on the floor, I don't know, the Congress or whatever it is, Joe Biden said that busing children would cause his children to grow up in a racial jungle. In 1977, Joe Biden said that busing would cause his children to grow up in a racial jungle. So right now, there's this thing out there about President Donald Trump releasing this video that depicts, the former President Barack and Michelle and Barack as gorillas or monkeys. But in 1977, Biden said that busing would cause his children to grow up in a racial jungle. When you think of the jungle, you don't think of sweet little puppies and butterflies. You think of gorillas and apes. Joe Biden said that in 1977.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But here's my point. What are your thoughts on the video that Trump released on his social media?
To be honestly, I was doing anything but playing with a lot of the stuff this weekend. I heard about it, but I don't really have an opinion. I don't know. I don't know who released what, and don't really care.
I'm confused about it because they came out and said a staffer had actually done that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But I'm reading a story where Donald Trump said he didn't see the entire video before it was shared on his social media platform Thursday night. He only saw the first part of it where they were talking about voter fraud, etc. And so when he was asked to apologize, he said no. He said, I'm not apologizing. I really thought it was about voter fraud, and I did not watch the entire thing. And of course, it has been deleted from his social media. But at the end of the video, in case anybody didn't know, the Obama's faces appear abruptly on the bodies of apes without explanation, with the song "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" playing over and over again. That song haunts me. Asked if he would apologize for the video, Trump said, no, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning of it and it was fine. And asked if he condemned the racist portion of the video, he said, of course I do. So it was shared on his social media account at 11:44 p.m. on Thursday. Now, the White House has come out and said it was a staffer that did it, but yet if I was the president of the United States and I was posting on social media No one else would have my password. I don't want other people
No one else
posting
would
on
have
my
your
stuff.
what? Would have your what?
My
Password.
password. I wouldn't let anybody else be posting on it. It's his. So
I don't think that Donald Trump wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning and just starts posting things. I think
believe
he
he
said
does.
something to someone, they posted for him.
He says, asked by reporters Friday who posted a video, Trump said he saw the video first, but not the racist portion at the end, he claimed, and then gave it to the people to have it posted to his account.
I think it was at the beginning.
The racist part was at the end.
No. I think when the video started, it depicted Barack and Michelle like apes.
That was at the end of from what I remember seeing, but then again,
I don't know.
it should have never been posted.
Right. They're going to run with this and they're going to say every American that does not denounce Donald Trump is a racist. And they're bursting him.
Well, Senator Tim Scott, he out of Congress there, he said he was praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing he's ever seen coming out of the White House, and the president should remove it. And there was a lot of people calling for him to remove it, and it finally was removed. But it was not a good video, and I don't know who's responsible for posting it.
Well, let me give you a real
I have
good
my
one.
thoughts.
Y'all want to go back in history a little bit? Let's go back to January 2007. He was a senator at the time. His name was Joseph Biden. He said of fellow Senator Barack Obama, this is his quote, verified, correct attribution. I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. How would you take that? I'm sorry. How would you take? Does he mean that you expected him not to be bright?
No, I'm not telling you about
Not you. I'm talking about. Is that what Joe was implying? That I really didn't expect him to be a bright guy or clean and nice looking. What? That is the quote. I've got it in front of me, and it is correctly attributed to him.
No, you know what's even better? Back in the 1930s, or maybe the 40s and 50s and 60s, white racists used to refer to black kids as roaches. This is very real. Joe Biden gave us, he had a meeting at a pool. I think it was when he was running for president in Delaware, and he talked about this guy named Corn Pop. And he's at this pool, and he's surrounded with these little, black children behind him. And he's going on talking about his career in his teen years working at this African-American pool. And he talks about this guy named Corn Pop. And he talks about how these black kids would come up to him and rub his legs, and they would see his blonde hairs on his legs go up and forth. But accidentally, he used the word roaches to describe these kids. It's on YouTube. Nobody talks about it. It's a subliminal mistake that he made in his brain where he referred to black kids as roaches, and it came out. It's on YouTube.
Well,
he talked about how these.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I've referred to little kids around me on many occasions over the decade, little rugrats, because they're just all
rugrats. Yeah, rugrats. Yeah, that's a southern thing.
Nothing to do with
it. I like how you brought up about what he said. There's so many disturbing things, racist things.
Oh yeah,
that Joe Biden said.
Of course he did.
I can give you a list of 10 U.S. politicians right now who have done or said racist things, but I know we have to do the weather first.
Yeah, we got plenty of them to talk about.
Yes.
Hey, this is a fun one. In 2019, I actually just looked this up and I verified it. In 2019, Biden claimed a major problem black communities face is illiteracy, saying black parents can't read or write themselves, leaving black attendees shocked and frustrated. Now, if Trump said that today, the world would be on fire. They won't address these things. This guy
I would
is
think
a
we're
massive
past all this.
What is it?
It would be nice to know that we were past all this,
Oh, get over it. We're not going to be past it.
It's never going to happen.
Nope. All right, got to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Charlie.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
We're up to a whopping 20 degrees here at the studio. It's climbing, and climbing
hot.
some more. Yep. So anyway, out to 20 nautical miles offshore today. Northerly winds 10 to 15 knots. Going to drop a little bit this afternoon, 5 to 10. That's good. Seas 3 to 5, 9 seconds apart. And they're going to continue to calm down as the day wears on. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop this afternoon. Tomorrow, westerly winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 3 to 5 footers, 13 seconds apart. Wow, I can handle that. Near shore, waves will be 2 to 3 feet. Sounds and rivers a light chop, increasing to a moderate chop by the afternoon. Wednesday, hump day. Westerly winds 15 to 20 knots, diminishing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Humping waves will be 4 to 6 feet. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Sounds nice. Today, sunny with a high near 45 with a light north wind. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 29. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 67. Tuesday night, increasing clouds with a low around 48. And Wednesday, a chance of afternoon rain, only a 30% at the moment, mostly cloudy with a high near 65.
Fraud.
Whew, get
Fraud.
the
Fraud to the
flip-flops
left of me.
out.
Fraud to the right of me. Fraud is everywhere.
Yes,
Poor
it
Tim.
is.
Poor
Yes.
Timmy. Not our donkey man, the Minnesota governor. A whistleblower in the state's Department of Health and Human Services says she's been complaining to everyone, giving details about fraud at the highest levels in Minnesota. Faye Burstein, a coordinator in the Contract and Management Division at the state level, says no one paid her any attention, including the governor's office, until recently. That's because she got to be a whistleblower recently. She's being called a racist and is the object of a smear campaign. Burstein is irritated when she hears Governor Tim Walz claim he has heard nothing about the whistleblower's complaints until recently. Federal prosecutors estimate that up to $9 billion, that's B with a B in it,
With a B.
was stolen through a network of fraudulent fronts posing as daycare centers, food programs, and health clinics. Goody two-shoes places, right? There are great ones. There are scams. Minnesota's got their share of scams, $9 billion worth. The majority of those charged so far in the ongoing investigation are part of Minnesota's Somali population. And when I just mentioned that, I'm a racist for mentioning it. Okay? You would think that those at the top would thank Burstein for trying to get the problems identified and dealt with. Nope. She says that she's been rewarded with a nearly unbearable retaliation, included that she has been in trespass from all DHS owned or leased properties. Let me tell you what that means. She is at the top of health and human services in the great state of Minnesota.
Right.
But now she's been ordered not to go onto any DHS owned or leased property. She cannot go there.
Right.
And she's employed by this organization. If she goes there and she has been told not to go there, she will be arrested for trespassing. That's the way the law works. The state has also launched an investigation, not into the fraud she uncovered and reported, but into her actions. Go after the whistleblower.
Wow.
Burstein says she consistently raised concerns internally, even sent them to the governor's office, her words, as well as external oversight bodies. But the response was always the same. Everyone blamed Faye, blamed her for the problems. Well, it looks like they blamed her not for the problems, but by reporting the problems. That happens too often. We're going to blame her. We're going to discredit her because she's the one who told on us. So let's discredit her. That's the way people work.
Yes, it does.
Then they did not let her go do anything about it. They would not let her do anything about this fraud that was going on. She should have just done it right on her own.
Didn't she testify before Congress at one of the hearings? Yeah, I watched her a little bit.
2 decades of service. She's worked for the DHS, for the State Department of Health and Human Services. Someone should have listened.
You would think.
Trying to discredit her now makes them look pretty guilty and pretty bad. In my opinion, this discredits the entire state. Whoever's claiming that she's the bad apple here, if she's the bad apple, she got away with $9 billion. Why would she bring it up? Because she's the one who brought it to their attention.
Well,
hey, look at me. Somebody got away with $9 billion and no, it wasn't me. You know,
there's waste, there's fraud, there's embezzlement, there's all sorts of stuff. And every state in the United States here, you can't tell me there's not. We've uncovered a lot, not we personally, but there's been a lot uncovered in North Carolina with fraud.
We had a daycare in Onslow County that was operating with our money.
Right.
They didn't have any students in it.
That was a while back,
when
yes.
they finally got around to go and checking, have they checked any of the daycares that we furnish money for now, or anything else that we furnish money for?
Exactly. Well, you know, there's a lot of nonprofits right here in Onslow County that they get, the ones that do get grants from the state. Where does that grant money come from? All of us.
Oh, the state's got no money.
We pay taxes.
The county's got no money.
It goes into the pot.
They take from us and give to others.
And I'd like to sometimes
they think they're Robin
pick
Hood.
A nonprofit and go check out their license to see if they're currently licensed.
Did you not just do that with one?
Yeah, I just did that with one not long ago.
And they didn't have a 501c.
It was expired.
But they still got money.
They finally got it renewed. Now, I don't know as far as what money they were getting. I do not know that. Okay. But I also like to, in order to look at their financial records, you have to go onto the IRS site to get that. And it's a pain in the rear. But there's some that I have questions about, like if you're a 501c and you're raising money for this particular cause, why are you partying all the time? Why are you having all these events that cost money?
I can tell you
why.
I can tell you their argument.
What's the argument?
Because we can make more money from the donors who show up at these events. Here's what your next question should be. What is the return on that investment? You throw a party for $1 million, are you going to get $1 million back? Or you should be getting $5 million. There should be a return on whatever investment that you make.
Well, as one that has thrown fundraisers before, political fundraisers, the whole objective is to make money, because you want to make money so you can spend it during election time on your folks.
But your particular party is known as the Grand Old Party because they just threw a bunch of grand old parties and spend a lot of money. Is that not true?
Party. What I'm saying is some of these nonprofits, instead of seeing on their social media accounts, like, we just gave this money to this homeless person, or we just donated to, I'm just pulling things out of my head, the women's shelter, or we just donated money for this, or we just bought. All I see is partying. So I'm going to be checking. I'm going to check some finances.
Show us your expenditures, your income. Show us how much grant money you got. I mean, that's tax dollars. Show us how much tax dollars you got, how you spent it, who got it,
right,
and any other expenses to earn that money.
I'm just saying, we have some fine nonprofits in Onslow County. They work hard. We've had a lot of them on our show. We support them. And I'm not saying that they're wrong in any way. We have a lot of fine nonprofits. But I know, like the county commissioners now, when a nonprofit goes before the county commissioner and requests money, or like during budget time, they put in a request, hey, can you throw us a little bit of money? I know that the commissioners, first of all, they're going to want a financial report What do your finances look like? What have you been doing? They're gonna want to know that you're actively licensed. So I don't know that the county does a lot of money out to nonprofits, because you do one, you have to do them all.
No, you
My
don't.
opinion, but
Yeah.
if they're above board,
Well, and then,
I'm
then
checking.
you've got a finite amount of money, and
Right.
you're going to give it to those who are the neediest, who can produce the best return on the investment. That's what you should be
Right.
doing. Now, if their best return on the investment is that they're throwing big old parties, then that's not a return on the investment. That's a cost of doing
I
business.
just have questions, and some of these nonprofits, and there's just one in particular right now I'm kind of following because I just have questions.
Mhm.
And so, everything could be above board. They could be making lots of good money and all that, but I just have questions.
Yeah.
I like to see what you're spending money on and how much you're bringing in and who's actually getting it. So anyway, it's just something I like doing in my pastime when I'm not watching court cases and following YouTube news. And
Got a couple of Korean stories.
oh, okay.
If allegations are true, always a challenge when I hear what I generally consider outrageous stories. But when what I hear is about the North Korean puke leader, I will
Oh
wait.
my goodness.
I will wait. I will wait to see whether they're disproved or not. I will
Okay.
assume any bad stories about what he's doing and what he has done are generally true. I sometimes may be wrong, but knowing his character and the things that he's been verified that he's responsible for in the past, I don't put anything past him. That's what you get when the allegations are about a less than human being.
Less, yes.
Claims from Amnesty International, a very legitimate organization, quoted a member of a North Korean family describing the deaths, the murders, execution style of people, including school children, who illegally watched the South Korean produced TV drama Squid Game. That North Korea had ways of knowing what they were watching and would go around. And if they were watching this, whatever this show called Squid Game is, then they were picked up, rounded up, and executed. Kids and others. Or they got lengthy prison sentences. Even if they were listening to music that's not approved by Kim Jong-un. That's been happening for over 15 years, and that they've been reporting on it. If it's not approved, oh, they're going to suffer the consequences. Defectors from North Korea have told stories where they were forced to watch the executions. Too many reports for too many years to be ignored. Makes me wonder why these types of vile human rights violations have not been targeted by this country and others. Why are we letting North Korea get away with this stuff? Don't go for a regime change. Go for a removal of the regime. Got a funny story.
Do you really?
I do.
I have a
funny, not haha. Funny that to me it's haha.
Okay.
It's about Russian bullets, ammunition,
Really?
munitions, because of a much more and much longer fight with stubborn Ukraine military forces. Russia has been exhausting its supply of ammo. Russia has long been known as a source of a particular caliber of bullet made for the world-famous AK-47 military assault rifles, caliber adopted by armies around the world, by the way. We didn't do it. We did our own. We did the 5.56, and they've got the 7.62 caliber. Seems that Russia has used so much of its munitions, not just for their rifles, but for their big guns as well, that they're turning to other sources, including factories in North Korea for bullets.
Wow.
North Korea has long been a red-headed stepchild of Russia, not particularly respected, but a country it could count on for political support. Intel indicates that the Russian government will supply Kim's country with advanced weapons technology. Oh, that will be scary. As well as food in exchange for weapons and ammo. In other words, the fat little pig there at the top, Kim Jong-un, he can get plenty of food so he can stay the big old fat old pig as long as he makes guns and ammo for Russia. International observers say that if Russia needs serious support and assistance from other countries, especially the likes of North Korea, then it must be hurting. Russia first attacked Ukraine about 20 months ago. Most everyone in the world agreed that Russia would take over Ukraine in short order, perhaps in as little as a few days. No one expected the kind of effort that the president, a former television comedian, by the way, and the Ukrainian citizens exhibited. The military arsenals were open. Civilians were given guns, and the fight was on. For almost 2 years now, Ukraine has held its own. Putin is both ashamed and desperate.
Should be.
Maybe I could spare a couple thousand rounds for his AK-47s. I figured that $1,000 per bullet would be fair. He wants to pay me $1,000 for the extra bullets that I got for the AK-47s. We'll talk.
Let him do it.
Or I could offer the same deal to Ukraine. Why? Because they were also running short, and they would be getting money from our government to pay me. That could be one way for me to get some of my money that I give the United States government back. Roundabout way, but that would be it. Okay. You got something else you had?
Yeah, here's one for you. You talk about stupid is, stupid does. Fighter jet intercepts a Wizz airplane.
Who?
A fighter jet. Fighter jets.
Yes.
Intercept a Wizz airplane after passenger's sick choice of a Wi-Fi name. It was chaos on a board of a Wizz air flight from Luton to Tel Aviv when a passenger started messaging someone else on board, but they had changed their Wi-Fi name. Excuse me, I got the calls again. Fighter jets were forced to intercept a flight from the UK after being alerted that a passenger had changed their personal Wi-Fi name. And you know, when you're on the airplane using their Wi-Fi, all your stuff shows. The plane arrived after a person reported threatening messages were being sent to people on the Wizz air flight from Luton, which was due to land at the Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, Israel. The security incident unfolded when a crew member notified security officials in Israel of a potential threat. It all came down to a passenger, a young man, who was using their parents' hotspot and had gone in and changed the Wi-Fi name on his parents' hotspot without them knowing to the word terrorist.
Oh, really?
So using
How
this.
old was this idiot?
It doesn't really say, but, you know, that caused so much panic. Fighter jets to have to intercept the plane, bring it down, and all those passengers inconvenience because this kid thought it would be cool to change his Wi-Fi name to terrorist.
Don't give your kids anything on a plane. All right.
And if
And don't
you're
you get
using
on there
it
being stupid
and
either.
you're texting people, it's going to, you know, your Wi-Fi hotspot is going to show up on
I didn't
the.
even know they allowed you to send text on planes now, did they?
Well, if you've got, we did get to a certain altitude, I think that they allow you to use it. You either have to have a hotspot or you have to sign on to theirs and pay.
Well, then hotspots should not be allowed.
Well, I just, you know, I mean, how do you think a lot of those people get messages that says, we're going down, I love you?
God, it's not going to mean anything anyway. It's over by that point in time. There's a lot more to worry about.
Here's a real dumb one for you. Isaiah Pulu, 25, has been booked on 3 counts of manslaughter and 3 counts of aggravated abuse of a vulnerable adult. A Utah man has been charged with manslaughter after allegedly leaving 3 men with disabilities in a vehicle that was running for at least an hour, eventually leading them to die from carbon monoxide poisoning. According to the police in West Valley City, Utah, located about 10 miles out of Salt Lake City, The 25-year-old Pula has been booked on 3 counts of manslaughter and the aggravated
That's
abuse. Pula was working as a driver for a business that provides transportation for disabled adults at the time of the incident. The 3 men were later identified, and they were all residents of a different assisted living facility, and it's not clear at this moment where they were being transported. But what happened around lunchtime,
He just stops.
the driver stopped at his own home
Oh.
and went inside, leaving the 3 men inside the running vehicle.
Mhm.
The driver reports returning to the vehicle 1 to 2 hours later, finding all 3 men deceased.
Really?
Yes. He ate lunch and he watched television while the men sat in the van for more than 3 hours. The driver also claimed that when he left the car, the garage door was open. He pulled into his garage. He said that when he returned, he found the garage door was closed, as well as the vehicle shut off and unable to start. Oh my gosh.
Put enough carbon monoxide in there to choke the vehicle out so it wasn't getting air.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
The van was inside the
Dude,
garage.
I'd lock your butt in there.
Wow.
There's no reason to take him back to jail.
Yeah, he was booked on 3 counts of manslaughter, which is second-degree felony. As well as 3 counts of aggravated abuse of a vulnerable adult, criminal negligence,
Are those?
which is a misdemeanor.
Oh, okay. So he couldn't be charged with felony murder then.
But he's currently being held without bail. Second-degree manslaughter.
No. I charge him with second-degree manslaughter on one of them, which is a felony, and then for just one of the deaths.
Yes.
And then charge him for felony murder for the other 2. Because if he was guilty of a felony the one time around, then he'd be guilty of capital murder. Aha! See, they need to talk to me
I'm
before they
telling
do
you,
these things.
we need a redo. And have you heard the latest about Don Lemon compares the Minnesota church arrest to civil rights leaders fighting for our freedom?
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah, just like he spoke at the Human Rights Campaign's 2026 Greater New York dinner following his arrest and release for his alleged role in the anti-immigration enforcement protests. So last week, I felt the weight of that truth in a very, very personal way. Lemon said, "Can you imagine the state having control of your freedom simply because they don't like that you're doing your job?" So that was very frightening to me.
Not yet.
Now he's making this all about civil rights.
Well, he may enjoy prison.
He'll never go.
He may enjoy
They'll
it.
end up saying it was his right as a journalist, but
No, he doesn't have any more rights as a journalist than anybody else has.
to be inside the church to do a news story.
No, he doesn't have.
I felt like he didn't need to be in there. He just needed to stay outside and interview them as they come outside. I think he added to it, but that's just my personal opinion.
He has no more rights to do anything than any other person does. Journalism does not have any special rights. Journalists have no special rights.
Did you see this news story that just came out about an Onslow County man facing charges of assault on a Richlands police officer?
Who?
Yeah, a man is facing charges of assault after court documents show he assaulted and injured a Richlands police officer. Now, this is coming from WITN.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Show Grant first assaulted a man by pushing him on the side of a vehicle, breaking their glasses, which caused a cut on their eyebrow. Kind of bad choice of grammar
Not
there.
good.
Police were called to conduct an investigation, and as an officer was trying to remove Grant from his vehicle to arrest him,
Oh no! He
Warren
resisted.
Show Grant slammed the car door into the officer, causing shoulder, neck, and back pain. Court documents also show the Duplin County man resisted the officer by refusing multiple commands to exit his vehicle, step away from the officer, lie on the ground, and not leave the scene. He was charged with assault with physical injury on law enforcement, simple assault, and resisting a public officer. Get this, though. He was taken to the Onslow County Jail where he remains under no bond.
Well, he's there
No
until
bond.
he can see a judge.
And
They're doing a lot of that these days.
his name was
That's good.
48-year-old Eric Grant was
Mhm.
his name.
Yeah, well, I don't.
My goodness, how dumb is dumb?
You know, it's a point in time you can. He doesn't have a criminal history in North Carolina. The there's a
Dumb is.
there's a time, but it's never at street side that you go to fight the police. If you don't like what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
take it before the judge. If you don't like the way they're doing things, take it to the judge. You will have your day in court. And right now, you have no defense. You have nothing on your side. You've got everything going against you, bud. I don't care what was happening. There's nothing you can say to bail you out of this one. Nothing.
Not when you assault a police officer in the line and while they're performing their duties.
It's just a dumb thing.
Ooh, mercy.
It's been a while, but it looks like the Small Business Administration has taken a serious look at those employers who took money to keep people working during the pandemic a few years back, but they did not use it for the intended purposes. The SBA suspended more than 100,000 California borrowers amid this suspected fraud, with the abuse totaling nearly $9 billion. SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler said the agency suspended 111,620 California borrowers linked to suspected fraudulent activity across the SBA pandemic era loan programs. You remember all of those programs they were doing? They were giving out money as long as you kept people working or for whatever it was so you could stay open. Remember that?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Those borrowers received 118,489 Paycheck Protection Program and Economic Injury Disaster loans. They received almost 119,000 loans.
Mm.
Wow. You're sure to remember how a lot of businesses laid employees off. Many of those businesses shutting their doors during that time. Somehow, though, as we have learned, a number of those businesses were still getting money to pay the employees, but chose instead to cut them loose, keep the money. In the broadcast industry, there were companies that cut back on the number of employees they had, sometimes eliminating part-time folks, because apparently the monies they did get did not cover part-time salaries. It became an industry joke that while some employees were terminated while others were still working, with advertising dollars still coming in, perhaps not as much because the businesses were cutting back on their advertising, the big businesses continued to work. The Small Business Administration was designed to help small businesses. Makes you wonder how so many small companies failed while the big guys continued operating. It will be interesting to find out how much fraud there was, and even more interesting to see if those committing the fraud will be held accountable. No doubt, with the next change of administration, that will all be forgiven, and the taxpayers will be left sucking it up as usual.
As usual.
Just another of those things that just makes me mad. What makes me madder is that there are those that will say everyone was doing it. And to quote one who we know so well, don't worry about it. What about Trump's insurrection? That's what you should be worried about. Don't worry about this $9 billion that they've uncovered in California already. Don't worry about that. Look at what Trump did. That's the only excuse I ever hear from those when things like this are brought up.
Oh, somebody just sent me something, and I'm sorry to change the subject, but I did want to say this. We've had callers that said having separate alternate halftime Super Bowls, she didn't feel like it was good. It was very divisive. And you've had other people on the other side of it. But this person just said, so let me get this straight. Having separate alternate halftime shows for the Super Bowl is bad. But having separate alternate national anthems for the Super Bowl is good. Do you ever think about that? That's a very valid point. There you go.
Yep.
It's another opinion by I have to. Yeah, we have one national anthem. One national anthem.
Oh, yeah.
And there shouldn't be
Even though
two.
one former president and his wife didn't like it, they wanted to change it to America the Beautiful because it was too militaristic. Bombs bursting in air.
Well, I have to tell you that Charlie Puth did an excellent job on the national anthem yesterday at the start of the game. It was very good.
And
It wasn't all crazy. No, Seahawks won, and Chris Miller, our Seahawks won.
Congratulations to
Yes.
the UNCW Seahawks, a great team they
Would you
are down
stop
in Wilmington.
it?
I do appreciate them winning and bringing that,
Don't
the
listen
Super
to
Bowl
him.
title to
Don't
us.
listen
I
to
did
him.
not know, though. I should have known. The Jacksonville
just
Cardinals have
stop?
a basketball team. They have a volleyball teams. They got they're all Cardinals. They got football team. Why can't the Seahawks at the UNCW have
Would
a
you
football
stop
team?
it? When you said that this morning on the radio, I stopped and I went, "What did he just say?" Wilmington Seahawks.
The Seahawks at the UNCW. Great
Yeah,
basketball
okay.
team.
Yeah. Anyway,
So now apparently
congratulations
they have a
to
great football team too,
Seattle Seahawks. It was
located on the
it
left
was
coast.
an interesting game. The first 9 points was 3 different kicks
Field
and
goals.
field goals, and that's what started the game. And I was like, wow, I was kind of surprised at the Patriots. There was some more of a fight, but congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. It was a good game.
They came.
Yeah.
They won.
And they were like, and I love watching them
What
when they
about
do
next year?
something that's in their favor, how they get all excited and do their little dances and stuff. That's pretty cool. That's
More
pretty
and
cool.
more people, as it turns out, are really desirous of having voter IDs
Yes.
so that they can. And a very recent poll showed a very large percentage of Democrats.
Yes.
70-some percent Democrats, they want voter ID. They want better control
Yeah.
over who is voting and who is not voting. Well,
It makes sense.
not-
Except for Kamala.
95% of the Republicans want it, 71% of the Democrats. That's enough, isn't it? So, but all of this was given to this Democrat dude from California. His name is Adam Schiff. He's a senator. He was confronted by that poll.
He-
The liberal senator said would disenfranchise voters if they had to have a photo ID to vote. Disenfranchise voters. I look at 95% of Republicans and 71% of Democrats. You're going to disenfranchise all of them if you don't have it, according to the polls.
Yeah. Well, I believe in voter ID. I think we should have had it. I've always, ever since the first day that I voted when I was 18 years of age, have always showed my driver's license. I did it mainly because it was easier for them to read my name than me try to say it and spell it. And what did you say? How do you say
I
it?
don't understand why I've got to have an ID card to go into Sam's to buy my groceries.
Yes, you do. Just
I
to
don't
walk in the door.
understand why I have to have an ID card when I go to my bank to get money out.
Yes.
Even if I go inside my bank and I present
Yes.
it at the teller, I have to have another ID
To
in
drive
addition to my ID card.
To drive.
I have to have a driver's license to drive.
That's right.
If I want to go check out a book and take it home with me from the
You take a
library,
library card.
you got to have a library card. If I want to do pretty much anything, if I want to go buy my drugs, legal
Mhm.
drugs,
Yes.
I got to prove who I am.
That's right. You do. Absolutely.
My goodness. If you want to be 21 and go to the liquor store, let me tell you what you better have with you. If you want to go to a restaurant and order a drink for dinner, you better have an ID card on you.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Well, I agree with
What's
you
the
100%.
problem, people?
What's the problem?
When we're voting for people we want to lead us, why would we trust anybody to vote who might not be legal? They might not be the right person voting. They might just be somebody who says, "Hey, I'm voting," and then like the one woman in Illinois, was it? few years back, she said, well, yeah, I voted 7 times. I voted for this relative, because they couldn't get to the polls. But I voted for them. I just told them it was me. Really?
What kind of test do you have to pass
Really?
when you're taking a driver's license test?
Yeah, you're going to have an
Do you
ID
have to
too.
pass English? Do you have to pass an English test? Is your driver's license a test in English?
I don't know. There are questions as to whether you have to be able to read English to do that. You're supposed to be able to read English to have a commercial driver's license.
Okay, well, speaking of English, speaking of politicians,
Je ne
speaking
veux
of
pas
election
l'anglais,
season,
l'anglais, je parle pas le français.
voter ID, et cetera, this morning at 9 a.m., which is 9 a.m.,
It is now
the
9.
Jacksonville Onzo Chamber of Commerce is hosting a candidate forum, which starting right now is at City Hall, 9 o'clock, are the Board of Education candidates.
We won't be
11 o'clock, and I'm going to try to be there. I've had some things come up this morning. If not, I'll be watching it. Will be the candidates for county commissioner. This is your chance. You can go online to the Chamber of Commerce's Facebook page. I'm going to put the link on here before I leave, and you can watch it online. They'll record it. You can watch it later if you miss it. But I think it's very important that you listen to some of these questions and answers, and to help make your decision.
If anything pops up today, we're still waiting for a report from the
Yes.
2 youngsters that. Let's see, is anything new here? Yep. Nope. We're still waiting for information about 2 kids that were pulled from a pond yesterday in the Richlands area.
Yes.
So we'll get you information as soon as it's available. And they also any information on the Guthrie missing persons, kidnapping, whatever you want to call it, situation. We don't know what happened. Their claim is that she was kidnapped. The likelihood she was taken without her will, against her will. What happened? I don't know.
Why? Why her? The whole thing is bizarre to me. My opinion is somehow family connected who wanted to get some money. The whole thing is bizarre. Bizarre.
I totally agree. It's weird. We'll figure it out. Okay.
Yes.
The
Bizarre.
VFW Post 9133 veteran stand down has been rescheduled for next Tuesday, the 17th.
Good.
We'll
Good.
bring you more information about
Very
it. The
good.
American Legion building. All the times from the original still the same. So we'll get your stuff. I'll send you the information here for Bob Jones.
Very good.
All right. You're live and local Real Talk,
We're here.
where we're always awake, never woke.
Never.
And tomorrow morning, we don't have anybody scheduled at this time.
Not yet.
I'd like to talk. We should have Dr. Murphy. Tomorrow will be
I thought it was Wednesdays.
No, we have too much on Wednesdays, don't we?
I don't remember what day okay, maybe tomorrow. We'll find out.
Maybe maybe. I don't know either. We'll find out. I've got it on the calendar. We'll find out. Anyway, we've got him scheduled for this week, supposed to be this week.
Mhm.
And I want to get the insurance commissioner in here. I have questions.
Okay.
All right. You're live and local Real Talk. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Be safe. Bye, y'all.